My name is Jill Baker, and I am a mental health ambassador for the St. Francis Foundation Gala. I'm excited to be a Gala ambassador because my reasons for promoting and getting excited about our community focusing on mental health really come from very personal and professional reasons. So I started off as the very typical anxious kiddo. I was the kid who from about 4th grade on would crawl into my parents' room at night saying things like, I can't breathe. It really wasn't until our first child was born, and a year after he was born, I went to see the doctor just for a checkup, and she said, how's the year gone? And I was like, oh my goodness, being a new mom is really hard, and I started to share some things with her, and she said, Jill, why didn't you come to see me earlier? You've had postpartum depression all year long. Why didn't you tell me? And I remember thinking at that moment, I had no idea what that was. Then my doctor said to me, just make sure that if you ever have any more children that we keep an eye on this. So 2003 came along, and I had our second child, and everything was going great, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, this is so much better than the first time around. And then our daughter got really sick. She had life-threatening respiratory illnesses. We thought she had cystic fibrosis, and I remember driving my car, and on December 10th, 2003, I was by myself in the car, and I just remember holding on to the wheels of my minivan saying, gosh, it would be so much easier if I just drove my car off the road. Everybody would be so much better off. And it was in that moment where I heard Jane Dawson's voice in my head saying, if you start to feel this way again, I want you to come see me. And so I contacted her right away on that Monday morning, and I said, I think I'm there again. And she was able to walk me through that, and I was so blessed by the fact that she gave me the words to say how I was feeling. I wasn't embarrassed, I wasn't ashamed, but I had the words. For the first time in my life, I really knew what to say. It's okay for you to ask for help. It's okay for you to call us when you're not okay. It's okay for us to try medication. That was the first time in my life I was trying medication. And they were patient with me and walked me through every single aspect of finding the medication that worked for me. And I was incredibly blessed by that because I went through about a year where I was functioning and I was doing all the things you're supposed to do as a school teacher, and I was doing all the right things, but I definitely needed a lot of support and help. And they had mentioned to me, they said, have you ever tried counseling? And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna do counseling. And then Kristen Peltz entered my life and became the counselor that really changed my perspective on my own mental health and made it okay for me to talk through the feelings I'd really probably had since I was that 4th grader crawling into my parents' bed. And what I found from all of this is, I could sit around and I could say, why me? Why have I had this struggle? Why has anxiety specifically been a big part of my life? And all I have to do is take a look at the students that I've taught over the last 25 years of my career and realize that every piece that I've gone through has given me the opportunity to help students who find themselves in the same position, whether they were my 4th graders, my middle schoolers, my college students now. I am able to say to them, I have been where you are. There is light on the other side. I have been able to sit down with students and walk them over to University Health or to Mosaic to get them help through the behavioral health unit there. And what I think that does is it erases the stigma. And if I could insert into every single childbirth preparation class a conversation with real mothers about pregnancy and postpartum mental health, I think that would be a game changer for people. And I think now we are at a point in our community where we can have those conversations because of the fact that last year's work and this year's work and the work of so many in the community and even in our region is really centering on the fact that it is okay to not be okay. It's okay to talk about mental health. And people tell me all the time, why are you so open about this? And I tell them, what I've gone through doesn't matter unless I use it to help someone else. And my other hope for the future is that people in our community destigmatize and really have those conversations openly about mental health so that when our young kids, when our 3, 4, and 5-year-olds begin to have big feelings, we can talk to them about what those feelings are and that our teachers and our counselors and our administrators and our cafeteria staff and our school custodians and our Boy Scout leaders and everyone that comes in contact with our kids has that set of resources and that set of words to be able to talk with kids about their feelings so that they don't have to have that crisis moment where they feel alone.